Deep in the jungle lived a sloth named Sheldon. He was very, very old, 100 years old. Sheldon had no legs, just a bum on a branch, he'd say. But Sheldon had a dream, a big, impossible dream. He wanted to run. He wanted to race. He wanted to win the 100-meter sprint at the Moon Olympics. The Moon Olympics? Everyone chuckled. That's for creatures with wings and springs, not bums on branches. But Sheldon didn't listen. He had a fire in his belly and a twinkle in his eye. "I'll find a way," Sheldon mumbled, clinging tighter to his branch. News travelled through the jungle like a whisper on the wind. The Moon Olympics were coming. Animals from all corners of the earth were buzzing with excitement. "Imagine racing on the moon," squeaked a little mouse, her nose twitching. "Zero gravity. One small hop for a mouse, one giant leap for mousedom." A wise old owl hooted. "The Moon Olympics are a test of skill, speed, and a whole lot of luck." Sheldon listened intently. His heart thumped with a mix of fear and excitement. This was his chance. But how could a legless sloth even dream of competing on the moon? Sheldon knew he needed a plan, a brilliant, crazy, impossible plan. He swung from branch to branch, his mind racing faster than a squirrel on a sugar rush. He gathered vines, leaves, and even a discarded tortoise shell. "What are you building, Sheldon?" the other sloths asked, their voices slow and sleepy. "A moon mobile," Sheldon declared, holding up a contraption that resembled a leafy roller coaster. He had designed a system of pulleys and slingshots. It would use his weight to catapult him forward. It was wild, it was wacky, it was pure Sheldon. The day arrived. Sheldon, strapped into his moon mobile, was hoisted into a giant banana-shaped rocket. With a roar and a burst of flames, they were off. Sheldon's journey was long and bumpy. He ate space snacks. Dried mangoes and moon cheese a delicacy. He practiced his launch. And finally he landed on the moon. The moon was magical. It was a world of craters and shadows bathed in an ethereal glow. The air buzzed with anticipation. Sheldon, his heart pounding, knew this was where he was meant to be. The Moon Olympics were like nothing Sheldon had ever seen. Animals from across the galaxy had gathered. There was a kangaroo from Jupiter, bouncing with incredible height. A rocket-powered rhino from Mars, snorting plumes of smoke. And then there was Sheldon, the legless sloth, strapped into his leafy contraption. The other competitors looked at him with amusement and disbelief. Sheldon felt a pang of doubt. Could he really compete against these extraordinary athletes? Section 6, ready, set, sloth! The 100-meter track shimmered under the lunar light. It was time for the 100-meter sprint. Sheldon took his position, his heart pounding like a drum solo. The other contestants chuckled and whispered, "He's going to roll off the starting line." But Sheldon ignored them. He closed his eyes. He thought of his jungle home, the whispers of the wind, and the dream that had brought him here. He took a deep breath. He was ready. Section 7. The race of the millennium. The starting gun fired. The kangaroo sprang forward, disappearing into the air. The rhino blasted off, leaving a trail of fire. Sheldon, with a mighty heave, launched himself from his leafy contraption. He tumbled through the air, a blur of fur and leaves. The crowd gasped. Was Sheldon losing control? But Sheldon had a plan. He used his momentum to spin like a top, gaining speed. He bounced off craters, his laughter echoing through the lunar silence. He was a furry, leafy comet hurtling towards the finish line. Section 8. An unlikely victory. The crowd went wild. The finish line was in sight. The kangaroo faltered, his giant leaps losing their power in the low gravity. The rhino sputtered, his rocket fuel spent, but Sheldon kept spinning faster and faster, a blur of determination, and then he crossed the finish line. Silence, and then the crowd erupted. The cheers were deafening. Sheldon had done it. He, the legless sloth, had won the 100-meter sprint at the Moon Olympics. Section 9, a legacy etched in moondust. Sheldon, covered in moondust and glory, basked in the cheers. He had shown the universe that even a legless sloth could achieve the impossible with a dream and a whole lot of determination. The Moon Olympics became his legacy. He returned to Earth a hero. But more importantly, he returned with a heart full of joy and a story that inspired generations of dreamers to reach for the stars, no matter how impossible their dreams might seem. After all, if a legless sloth could win the Moon Olympics, anything was possible.